Jamie Dimon is the head of JPMorgan. He claims JPMorgan was not in as bad a shape as the other banks during the crash. That's true. He then claims he didn't need any money from the U.S. government. That is not true. Here's what I mean by that. If he didn't need it, in the beginning they said, hey, you have to take the money through TARP so that people don't know which of the banks is terrible. In reality, almost all of them are in terrible shape. JPMorgan might have survived without that money anyway, right? But later, after that, they took over $40 billion from the Fed in free money, and they made billions in interest rates off of that money. So, Jamie, if you didn't need the money, why'd you take over $40 billion in free money? Because it was free, right? And you love living off the government while you pretend you don't need the government at all. And meanwhile, he's getting paid over $20 million a year. If I got over $40 billion for free from the U.S. government, I could make $20 million a year too. Easiest thing in the world. So here's what he says about the bankers. He says, quote, now, of the Occupy movement and the criticism, quote, there are parts I agree with and there are parts I don't. It is fair for the average American to say that the major institutions of America let me down. That's true. And it is fair generically to say that it was predominantly Wall Street and Washington. I think once you go beyond that and say all politicians, all banks, all bankers, well, that's terrible. I don't accept that. So he's saying, it wasn't me, dog. It wasn't me. No, it's Lloyd Blankfein and, John Mack over there and all these other guys who took the money. Me? No, they gave me over $40 billion. But it's terrible to put me in with the other bankers. No, it's not. It makes sense because you took money just like they did and you made free money off the American people. But I love his next line. He says, quote, I've disagreed right from the beginning of this blanket blame of all banks. I don't like that. I think that's just a form of discrimination that should be stopped. Oh, you're right, Jamie. We're just being racist against bankers. These guys, man, they're unreal. Yeah, I know. We're discriminating against banks for taking all of the money. Do you know how much they took overall combined from the Fed? $7.7 trillion. But if you point that out, you're discriminating against the poor bankers. How can you make blanket statements like that? But Jamie, we explain it, the macro picture, how much all the banks took, then we explain how much your bank took. And you know that the major 6 banks, off of the free money they got from the Fed, according to Bloomberg News, made $13 billion off of the interest rate difference. Free money, $13 billion. It's no different than if they had given it to you. If they had given you those trillions of dollars, all you got to do is take 0%, loan it out to somebody at 4%. Sometimes they loan it back to us at the Treasury Department. They buy Treasury bonds. What suckers we are. You'd make $13 billion too. And then Jamie Dimon, you can come around and go, I can't believe you're discriminating against me. This is like bigotry or racism against bankers. Ay, ay, ay.